Hey everybody, it's Charles Dobbins here, and as you can see, welcome back. Obviously, welcome back to the Multifamily Investor podcast. I am your host, Charles Dobbins, and I'm here to welcome Todd Heitner. Hey, listen, the real reason I have Todd here on the call is, as I have been teaching my students and teaching all the time, is that this is a business. Multifamily investing is a business. And you've got to run it like a business, especially, here I am teaching people how to own 1,000 apartments in 5 years. You don't do that in one transaction. You don't do that just by waking up one morning and finding out, I'm the proud owner of 1,000 apartments. It's a building process, just like a business. You got to grow that business. But the first building blocks with any business are the basics. And Todd has come into the mix here with a turnkey solution for many multifamily investors. And that's with having a website ready to go for you, all focused on multifamily investors. So Todd, talk to me, man. How did you come up with this idea? You must have seen the need, as much as I do. So what happened? Talk to me.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of investors were struggling, apartment investors struggling to get their website up and running. Different people I've talked to. I mean, one person I was just talking to last week said he built his own website, using one of those website builders, and it took him about 10 months to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. A lot of people are they're trying to set up their website while they're also trying to set up their business. They're also trying to find deals. They're trying to find investors.
Yeah.
It's just not a good use of your time, And then
it's what they say. It's getting, and I don't mean the website as being a thin thing, but it's using the expression getting stuck in the thick of the thin things. Yeah. And you don't make your money on your website. You need one, but you make your money elsewhere. So
right.
Outsource. Yeah. So so what have you you've kind of put together a nice little program for guys like me. So, because I'm actually in awe of somebody that was able to do it in 10 months. So
yeah, right. Yeah. So we try. What I want to do is put something together where people can basically sign up and get a website up and running really quickly. I mean, as little as the same day. And how we did that was by we created the designs in advance that look really professional. We spent all the months working on the design, getting that right, and then also writing the content, which that's something a lot of people kind of underestimate. Writing all the text that goes on your site, getting that right, so that basically people can sign up and have a website. They just kind of plug in their business name and have a website, and up and running. Of course, they can customize it as much as they want, or we do have custom plans too, but the basic idea is make it as easy and quick as possible. Get that, that to-do item of setting up your website checked off your list and be able to focus on other parts of your business.
Now let's talk about, first off, like what we would use the website for. And that's part of the, the issues that, and I heard it explained very well by, I think you and I had this conversation, but Russell Brunson, I think is who it was. And I loved his concept that the problem with most websites is that they are brick walls, like what you're standing.
Yeah.
Exactly. You come to the website and then it stops. Your experience ends right there. But what we need our websites to do is really direct the people who come to our website into whatever funnel they needed to be sent to. And so when you think about the people in our, who are our customers, when you're putting out a website like that, you're looking at first off, commercial realtors, they check you out on your website beforehand. So they want to, see your credibility, your gravitas. The other thing too is, you want to be able to generate investors and have investors come to your website so that they, can see that you're actually more than just some guy sitting in his kitchen. So these are the types of things you need a website for in order to generate, that business or the look of the business that you need to get out there in the world. So talk to me about some of your websites. What do they do from a functionality standpoint for people?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, the number one thing, like you said, is credibility. I mean, having a website that looks professional. So like having something that represents your business properly. It doesn't look like something you threw together yourself or whatever, but because that makes a first impression in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And it can answer, a lot of times it can actually dispel a lot of those doubts that people have. People are skeptical, and if people are checking out, whether it be, like you said, like a broker, agent, investor, they're going to do their homework. They're going to see, who is this person? Are they a real company? If there's no website there, well, that kind of gives the signal that no, you're not a business.
Yeah, exactly.
But
what I love are the email addresses that people come up with, like I buy cheap apartments at gmail.com, or like no money down apartments at gmail.com. That's like, oh, please don't. I mean, have a little self-respect.
Right. I've seen people posting, I think it was on Facebook. I saw somebody posted a deal or something. They were trying to get money, and they said, email me at, this Yahoo address or Gmail address or whatever. And so people actually called them out on it. And like, you expect me to invest money with you, and you can't even get a real email address.
I know. And the worst thing is, I found out the other day, and this shows you how behind the times, but like Dobbins.com. Okay, fine. Dobbins.com. But then if you buy Dobbins.co, and the reason why you buy the .co is because it's cheaper than the .com. Mm. It's like cost $10 a year for the .com, but $1 a year for the .co. It's like, dude, buy an M. Buy the M. Let the world know that you can afford an M. So yeah, that's I heard that one. I was like, oh brother. So every time I hear a .co, I'm like, Rrr.
Yeah, it looks more professional. I mean, we're trained to think, .com as a business. So yeah, you get something else, people are going to forget it. I mean, you get it the .net or whatever. First of all, it doesn't look as professional, but also people are going to forget, and they're going to put in .com. They're going to end up on some other website.
Yeah. Yep.
So it makes sense.
All right. So what, as far as the credibility goes, what's the next, as far as like driving people to the website, and once they get there, we need to capture their information.
Yeah.
And so how do we do that on some of your template documents?
Yes. So, like you said, like people do tend to bounce off websites because a lot of websites are basically like a business card, and it doesn't direct them anywhere. So, with our websites, we've kind of focused on, they're kind of geared toward syndication. We do have some that are not, but for syndicators, we're kind of directing them to, give their information, like to fill out a form that lets us know, their contact information. Are they SEC accredited? How much they have to invest, those kind of details, which you can, of course, then put into your funnel. If you're using a CRM or email marketing system, whatever, you can plug that in, have that automatically fed over there.
It builds a form. Yeah. I mean, do you recommend a CRM, or should we come to you with our back office CRM?
I would say it kind of depends on where somebody's at in their business. If maybe they're working on their first deal, it's not necessary. It might make things a little bit easier. Kind of depends on your budget and everything too. It does. You can automate things with it. You can kind of set up these systems, but it's not necessary either. We do actually have one plan that we just introduced that actually includes a CRM service too. So, there are options there, but it's not necessary, I would say, in the beginning. But I would say as soon as you're able to and ready to do that, you can connect it whenever you want. And one thing that we're actually adding, which I think later we're going to look at some of the templates. And I don't have an example of this yet because we're just adding this, but we're actually adding an option where we're going to have something that people can sign up for free. Some kind of like a report, like why multifamily investing makes sense kind of thing, that people can put in their name and email, and you get their information, even if they're not ready to fill out the investor profile form. They're just kind of checking you out, gathering information, trying to see if they want to invest or not. And that's something that kind of helps you to look more like an authority. For one thing, you have, content for them, but you also capture their information and have a way to follow up with them then.
Todd, that's a great idea. Did you steal that idea from me? Was that my idea?
I don't know, but Yeah, I've had people, a lot of people more and more are realizing they need to do that, and
Yeah,
more people are talking about it.
here's your free report, but give me your email address. And yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, they say it's free, but it costs you your email address.
yeah.
So yeah. So all right. So show us some of the ideas that you have. We can share your screen. I think I might have to give you the ball. Hold on. Perfect. Look at this, everybody. Look at
Yeah.
this.
So this is one of our designs that we offer, and all this, the designs there that the content's already there. I'll just kind of briefly scroll through, all this is there and ready to go. Essentially what you do is when you sign up, you just plug in your business name and contact information in one spot, and it'll automatically go throughout your site. So this, Premier Investments, that would be your business name.
And we can upload a logo and everything. And
yeah, we just have one there as kind of a placeholder for people that don't have a logo yet. That way you don't have to get that first. You can use this and just have your business name there. But as soon as you are able to, I would suggest getting your own logo just to kind of, work on your own branding. But yeah, you basically would plug in your business name and it's going to go throughout your site in the content, everywhere. Everywhere you see Premier Investments, that's where your business name would go.
Oh, it's going to automatically repopulate that?
Yeah, exactly. So it'll automatically go throughout the site. All the content, it has it written throughout it, but it'll have your business name in there.
Boy, that's pretty good. That I mean, you're not kidding. You could have this thing up and running in no time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
yeah, go ahead.
How about things like what do they call it? Like the thing when I went to your website, your pop-up box.
Yeah, I don't have an example of that already because we're actually just adding that. I think probably by the time people see that, I mean, that's something I'm working on today. We're going to add that opt-in box for that. We already have the content, the free report that we're going to let our customers use. It's already written for you and everything, and we have a nice design for it. So that will be that's something we're going to include too.
Very cool.
And like I said, we kind of focus on on these for syndication sites, focus on getting people to the forum to, give you their information. So, basically if you click on the get started anywhere, it's going to take you to the investor profile form, where they can tell you, are they SEC accredited and all that information that you need to know, basically, if they're going to invest with you. But yeah, all these pages are already included, all the content's there. So, get a professional website up and running, is same day.
Yeah. Now what, obviously, I can upload pictures of myself, pictures of my properties, stuff like that. Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So,
I might just could I just briefly show a couple of the other designs?
Yeah. Please do.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So just to show that there's options, this one's more of like a single page layout, which is, everything kind of in one, mostly on one page. Some people like that kind of layout. Other designs, everything, it's designed to be modern and, professional looking.
Very cool.
So, yeah. And I'll just go.
And obviously we don't have to worry about ownership rights of those pictures. If you want to use those, you've taken care of that for us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've used images that you can use in your site. So yeah, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And of course, everything is customizable. So let's say you want to change some of the wording. It's easy to do. You just log in and just point and click, basically type, kind of like you would writing an email, essentially, and just save your changes. So that way, if you want to change something last minute, you don't have to wait on somebody else to do it. You can just go in and change it whenever you want.
Okay, so how do we work with you on this?
So let's see. Should I go ahead and stop sharing my screen? Then I'll just so we get back to the. Okay, and so basically, people can just go to our website. They can sign up and create an account, and that as they go through that process, it'll ask which design they want to use, and that's basically it. Just you create an account, it sets up your website. Then it's just a matter of connecting your domain name to it, which we'll actually do for you too. If you have a domain name, we'll go in and change those settings for you, so you don't have to worry about figuring that out.
Okay, so what they do is we go to your website, apartmentinvestorpro.com. And you've got the whole thing spelled right there, the, demo sites all night. Oh, this is nice. And then we click on pricing. And
Yeah, and we have different plans, kind of ranging from, simple, basic site all the way up to, completely custom site where we, do custom content, custom design, all that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
depending on where somebody's at in their business, so you can always start out on a lower plane and upgrade later when you're, it's basically designed to scale with your business. Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Now, the thing is that you and I have said offline that, there's a discount for Multifamily Investing Academy owner forum members, but your pricing is right there on your website. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So, guys, this is great. Like, and I guess the other part is the technical aspect of linking the web address or the thing. I mean, because that, as I've heard in the past, that can take a couple of days or something, or how does that all work?
Yeah. So, there's settings that you have to change in let's say you're using GoDaddy, for example, and you have a domain name there. So there's a setting you have to change to point it to your website. And we'll do that for you if you want, or we can tell you how to do it. It's a simple change, but yeah, that change can take a little while to take effect, especially if you already had an existing website, or if you've been. One thing I always recommend people is don't, as soon as you make that change, don't go to your website for a little while. Give it like an hour or so before you go to it, because what happens is things get cached on the internet, and so if you change that and you immediately try going to your website, that'll actually slow down the process of your domain getting pointed to your website.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
it's kind of like I found out the other day. I got an elevator. And it had a handicap feature on the button, and if you keep hitting the button, it actually holds the door longer.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I found that out the hard way. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this thing?
Yeah.
Same thing is true on their website. Who knew?
Yeah, patience is good. But usually, in most cases, if you have a new domain and you haven't been using it for a website already, and you get it pointed, usually within an hour or two, usually it will, it'll start working, start pointing to your website. But I do recommend people be patient with that a little bit, just to give it a little bit of time for those settings to take effect.
All right, very cool, Todd. This is you're new starting out. We're all you're helping new investors get up and running. This is a great program. I keep stressing to people, you got to have that, because it's so. How many times do I have a new investor that I'm working with, call me up and say, hey, the broker wants to, see my credibility, see my profile or my resume, and he wants to see my website. And on investor questionnaires, there's actually a site like, what is your web address? Mm-hmm. And if you don't have something like what Todd's doing, it's going to take you 10 months to get up and running. So why? I mean, let's get buy these properties now. And then the other thing too is, when you're out there looking for deals, but you got to be looking for money as well. You've got to have that vehicle that captures the information. And man, if you don't have a website to do it, what are you expecting? What do you think's going to happen? So, all right, Todd. Hey, great. I love this idea. I think this is fantastic. And I think now you have no more excuses. You have no more excuses. Let's get this done. Give Todd a call. You can find him at apartmentinvestorpro.com. That's his website. And you can just go through all the different options. And Todd, if somebody needed to get a hold of you, how could they if they have any questions, how can we reach out to you?
Yeah, really the website's the best thing, or you can send us an email at support@apartmentinvestorpro.com, and we've got, that way, we'll get back in touch with you quickly with, any information, answers to your questions. If you want to do a call, we can do that too.
Excellent. All right. Hey, Todd, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I'm going to start singing your praises, because I love what you're doing, and we'll make this thing happen.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Todd. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.